Hey guys, here's Isabella Ritz and Amazon Made Simple podcast. And today I have a very special guest, Joshua Cobos, who is going to tell us something new and something we did not explore before. Because e-commerce is very, very different, and we don't understand sometimes where are we going, what are we supposed to do, and we're thinking most of the times about like very, very physical products, but those physical products have some backgrounds and some tricky parts that most of us are not even thinking about. So, Joshua, welcome to the podcast and let us know what do you actually do?
Thank you for having me. What we do is we're formulation specialists. We have one food scientist and one flavorist on staff. Um, and we basically help people either start their own gummy manufacturing facility. We've had a few cannabis, CBD, and nutraceutical white labelers we helped get started in the gummy business. We also help formulate beverages, whether it's energy drinks, energy shots, syrups, sugar-free stuff, things like that. And a lot of what we do and why we do it is we're helping a lot of entrepreneurs enter the space and teach them how to attract other entrepreneurs into their own facilities. We specialize in flavor manufacturing, and we sell on Amazon our 2 ounce, 8 ounce, and gallon sizes. On our website, we have our what do you call it? I think we just launched it. It's for formulators. So if you want to have like a one-on-one conversation with anybody on our team, you can talk to us about your idea, and then we'll quote you on what it would
Okay, stop,
cost
stop,
to
stop,
get
stop, stop
started.
here. Like, we'll
Yeah.
get to your team, we'll get to all this. So you're doing flavoring. Like, who came up with an idea to create the actual manufacture of flavors?
Yeah. So we started in the pharmaceutical industry, and we had two retail pharmacies and one wholesale pharmaceutical company, and we were in like 26 different states. And the most fun part of it was actually the compounding and making products. And so my dad's best friend Fabio's father-in-law, he's actually a flavorist, and he was telling us about this business. And so we got into it because of him. So then we kind of shifted and adapted into the food and beverage arena.
So is it his business or it's your guys' business?
It's our business. We all started it like right before COVID.
So, do you have any type of like chemistry education, chemistry background? Because, like, to mix the stuff, to my understanding, you have to be a scientist at some point.
Yeah, and so we have flavorists and we have food scientists on staff that do it, and also just being around it for so long, we know it ourselves pretty well.
Yeah, so you're generally speaking, you're just entrepreneur. You
Yeah,
never thought that you gonna do something like with flavors and chemistry and like
no, yeah.
mixing stuff. So, what is your personal background?
So I grew up in LA, and then I moved to Israel when I was younger, and I lived there for about like 7, 8 years. I did the army there, and then I was just working different jobs. And then when I came back, is when we kind of like got serious about becoming like a group and starting a business together. So that's kind of like how it all happened. We started in the pharmaceutical world, which was with my dad's company, and then Levi and I jumped in and started the flavor company with my dad, separate from that pharmaceutical stuff.
So you're another example, like from army to entrepreneurship, from army to like some type of the business that you've never been thinking you're gonna be in.
Yeah, no, I never thought I would be in flavors or food and beverage, but yeah.
So did you guys have any investors to start and launch this business?
No, yeah, no. We had zero investors, and it was our own money. Levi and I put our own money into it as well as my dad. We leased a 4,000 square foot facility, and then we just started buying the right machines and started doing the marketing and started going out to these manufacturing facilities, like door to door, kind of trying to get our first account. And then after we got our first big account, things kind of started to happen word of mouth because we had really great customer service and great flavors. So that's kind of how it started to roll in. And we really focused on the B2B first, just because it was the bigger money and it was a lot, it was a lot faster. And then we kind of got into the Amazon. world, which was like 6 months ago, 7 months ago, we started Amazon. So we're still
So
fresh.
you started your Amazon brand by yourself, but before that, you've been manufacturing only for other people, correct?
Yes, correct.
How did you find your first client?
Okay, so we went to a trade show. It was called MJ BizCon, and I really didn't know much about business, but what I did was I just went up to all these manufacturers and said, "Hey, man, what are your problems? What are your issues? How can I solve them?" And so a lot of them were telling me that they had issues with lead times and custom flavors. And so that was something that I really heard. And so I just worked really fast at getting them the products that they need, because a lot of these people are making products and they're doing like 500,000 gummies a day. So they need product fast, and they can't wait 2 or 3 weeks for just one strawberry or et cetera. They need all the flavors now. So, that was the first thing we picked up on, was like, how do we get them this this quick service kind of need? And so what we would do is we would go to the facility, we would see all the flavors that they are going through. We'd check out, a year forecast of all of their top flavors, and then we'd stock them. And then, if they were to hit us up, yesterday, we'd have it already ready and on its way to them the next day. So we have
Okay.
clients, all over the US, in South America, actually in the Middle East, um, and in Europe. So it
So
happened
if
kind of
I'm
fast.
ordering the flavor, you're making the flavor for my materials, for like my, I don't know what I'm doing, like gummies or like something else.
Cosmetics, yeah.
Yeah. And you're sending me the flavor that I can mix into something else, right? Or you're actually mixing into the gummies and you're manufacturing gummies.
No, no, no. So we're making the bulk flavor and concentrate. And so like for our international clients, what we're doing is we're making these like hyper concentrated extracts, just because the bigger the order, the more expensive the shipping is. And so like 30% of what people are spending in the manufacturing world is in shipping. And so what we did is we created a hyper extract version of it that we could ship to them, and then they could dilute that and then add it to their products. So
So, for example, if like our clients or our audience, that listeners who are right now like trying to understand what is going on because it's something new, it's a new topic, it's something that you're an expert, other people that they're not. And For example, their production is about 500 units or 1,000 units. Are you working with this type of clients? And then how can you help them if you can? And what are their steps? Like, for example, they're producing candies for kids or something, so they can use any type of your flavors, correct?
yeah, so we have blogs on our website that can teach you how to make your own commercial grade gummy. We're about to start uploading how to make your own beverages and stuff too. So if you want to test it out, you can do it on a small scale. These ingredients are like readily available to like everybody. I think people get intimidated when they start to hear like, millions of units a day kind of thing. But when you look at the back of the label, everything there is you can find at the grocery store. And so it's just knowing how to put it all together. For a beverage, it could be 70% water, 0.1% xanthan gum, 3% flavor,
Yeah, but
yada,
when
yada,
we're
yada.
talking about the production, we have to have the certificates, right? So if we're taking like if we're buying the flavor for you, then from you, then you have to provide us, I believe, some type of the certificates. Is it correct or incorrect?
No, 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 it's correct. So what I'm saying is if you want to batch test your own products and make a commercial grade product either at home or at your facility before you go and make an order with maybe another larger white labeler, private labeler, you could have your formula and taste profile established, because it is expensive, especially if you're starting out and you don't want to spend, 2,500 to 5 grand to figure out how to make a product commercially ready. And you can do that yourself, and then go to the white labeler yourself, and then say, hey, here's the formula, here's the flavoring profile that I want it to be, this tart, this sweet. I've already worked out the numbers. We can help with that a lot, so that when you go to the private labelers to either make it in bulk, you're pretty much ready. Because we've had experience with that in the past, where we tried to make like a supplement energy drink, and we paid like, I don't know, it was like $10,000 to this private labeler in San Diego to help us formulate it, and you only got 3 attempts, and they don't really teach you anything besides just charge you, and then they make it for you, and then the taste isn't there for you. We had all the nutraceuticals we wanted in there, but we didn't have that taste profile to help mask it, because the vitamins do taste kind of bitter. So we have blogs on our website that actually teach that, and if you ever wanted to get in contact with us, we could explain all of these ingredients and then the different use levels of how they interact with each other and how to benefit from them.
Got it. So, generally speaking, if I don't want to do anything by myself, like I have a budget and I want to launch whatever candles, gummies, or something else, what is the MOQ you're starting working with? Like, how many units I supposed to keep in my mind that, like, okay, now I'm going to Cobos and he's creating for me the flavor. So should I keep in mind like 1 units a day, or I still can manufacture like 1,000 or 2,000 pieces?
It just depends on what your goal is. Like, I'm trying to answer it so that it it helps. So if you're trying to just test the market, there's very cheap ways of doing it, and you can find information like on ChatGPT. You can find information on Google through blogs. You can find information on our website about the products that you kind of want to put together. And then it's not hard to order these ingredients to your house or facility to make it yourself. Like, there's this website called bulksupplements.com where you can order the supplements that you need to try to test it out and then create your beverage or gummy with that. We have the gummy formula and beverage formula on our website, so you have a template to go off of. It's not like you need an MOQ. You can buy our flavors on Amazon. We have water and oil soluble. Water soluble is more for like the beverage, candy making side, and then the oil solubles are like for the cosmetics, the candle making. They use them for gummy making because the oil is actually a lot smoother in terms of taste with the supplements and all the other stuff. Um, Sorry, I was getting a call. And so yeah, there's not like a real, I mean, like a low minimum. We're not going to make units for you, but we will make the flavors,
Yeah,
and
the
then
flavor.
yeah, the flavors. So like 2 ounces, for example, can go so far. They're like really strong extracts, so it's not like you need a whole bunch. We're working on with our new machines to get these like smaller half-ounce bottles made, so that we can do like these 12 to 24 packs, so that you could try, all the flavors for an affordable price. And so yeah, it's like it's really easy once you understand what you're doing with it. I think the hardest part for a lot of people is that they use like baker's way of cooking, which is like by cups or teaspoons. And one thing that I do when I teach people how to formulate their stuff is to use percentages, because it's way easier to scale, especially when you go into large manufacturing. You know exactly how much you're going to be using. It's really hard to like scale it up by cups and teaspoons and things like that. So
Gotcha, gotcha.
yeah,
So you mentioned gummies, candles, candies,
cosmetics. Yeah.
cosmetics. Yeah. So for what type of products we can use your flavors? What else?
Oh man, I had a review last week, and someone used it for toothpaste. They
Okay.
flavored it was a banana flavored toothpaste, not my personal favorite, but he was all excited about it, and he posted a video with it. So there's all kinds of things that people are using food flavorings for. A lot that we know, like frostings, bonbons, cakes, batters, things like that. But there's also things that people are commenting on and telling us that they used it with, which is pretty cool.
What type of the certificates do we need from you to make sure we will be able to like provide it to the retailers or to the retail places or to Amazon or something else? Some other.
GMP. So generally manufactured good practices is the certificate, and it just means that you have a clean environment. Nothing is on the floor. Everything is on the shelf. Everything's cleaned daily. You have batch logs, things like that, so where the ingredients come from and how long they've been on the shelf for.
So I assume if I'm manufacturing any type of soap, body wash, cleaning supplies, I can use your flavoring as well, or not, or it's only food grade.
Yeah, yeah, you could use ours. We use some essential oils in our formulas, and so they go hand in hand with like soaps and things like that as well. It's just a
Okay.
different use level. So, like for example, in a candle, you're going to use it at like 7 to 10% of the batch weight, right? And so, like 7% will be the flavor, and then you would have the rest, which would be either beeswax or beeswax absolute. The beeswax absolute is actually very strong and expensive, so you want to use less of that. But it'll that those are the candles that you would find at a church, the beeswax absolute, which has that nice aroma. So you do definitely want to include something like that in your product.
Okay. Sounds great. Thank you. So, what are the main factors I should be looking at when I'm entering the production of like this type of stuff that like I have to when I need to use the flavoring. So for example, when like we're manufacturing ceramics, we're looking at like shattering rate, like defective rates, how uh, like if it's a dishwasher safe, not dishwasher safe, like etc etc. So we have a list of the factors that we're discussing with the manufacturer. So when we're coming to you to make sure like we're ready to have a conversation, what information, what factors, what initial foundation we have to just like at least start the conversation and make sure like our product is going to succeed using your flavors. Make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah, it makes sense. So it's more of like an entourage effect. So the way that the flavor works is that it floats to the top of your brain, and you kind of identify that flavor as strawberry, right? And then you have the acid profile that goes along with it. So citric acid is something that's kind of like used um, with strawberries a lot, and it's naturally found in strawberries. And so you're going to want that in there as well, because that's going to attack the tongue and give you the idea that you're actually tasting the strawberry. So what we teach our clients is more about the entourage effect of all of these different components in your products, gummies, in your beverages, things like that. Different kinds of sweeteners if you don't want it to be, if you don't want any sugar. What are the substitutes that can go with it? We create tri blends of sweeteners. So like if you like Splenda, you like sucralose, and you like, let's say, stevia, we'll create something that's kind of like a little bit of each of it so that it has an extended sweet life to it and a nice mouthfeel. So it's kind of like a lot of R&D, just basically trying to get an idea of what it is that you're trying to taste, and some targets that you like in the past. So like if you like Reese's Buttercup, and that's like your favorite candy or whatever, then I have an idea of like the texture you like, the creaminess you like, the crunchiness you like, right? So I can have an idea of what it is that you're looking for, and then I can try to help you go after that target in terms of putting everything else you want in there, right? So those are some things that we'll do. I hope that answered your question. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
So
Okay.
if for example I'm looking to do the product that will be organic, so do you do that?
Yeah, yeah. So it's based off of organic certificates, and so like if you want organic strawberry flavor, then what I'm gonna have to do is I would have to reach out to all of my vendors and only buy from organic farmers and organic manufacturers that house these ingredients, and then create a special compound formula for that strawberry with those certificates that I can then hand over to you for your manufacturer to have that and to be able to put that label claim on there. So those are, yeah, it's good to know that, but it's also good to know that people say that they want organic and they want all natural, and then they taste natural and organic and they realize that it doesn't have much of a taste at all, and so then they gear towards the natural artificial. um, and it's a good play, and it's great marketing, the natural and the organic. But in terms of like scale, people tend to see their products move a lot faster with the natural and artificial tastes associated with them, because it has a wide range of acceptability throughout the US. And people like I have a natural raspberry, and then I have a natural and artificial raspberry, and that one tastes more like a Jolly Rancher than the other one, right? But I can't achieve that in the other one because of the other ingredients, and so it's just a matter of your taste and what you think your customers are really going to like. Um, but if that's your marketing goal, natural is definitely a good way to go. We have clients that just only do natural flavors, and we try to do our best to like look for new ingredients globally to try to incorporate other natural products to help enhance that flavor even more. But again, it's limited to those capabilities and to those kind of like licenses and stuff like that.
Gotcha. So another question I just came up with. A lot of people are thinking that if you're USDA approved, then you will have much more sales, and they kind of correct. However, based on my personal experience, USDA approved, even if you as a manufacturer or you as the supplier, you have this USDA approved certificate, it doesn't mean I can use this USDA because I have to apply for the USDA certificate by myself. So how do you have experience with the USDA and USDA approved products or not?
No, I don't. We haven't done that yet, mainly because the manufacturers themselves carry those licenses and they don't really require that from us. They mainly require that we have that GMP certified
Yeah.
certificate so that they know that the flavors are being manufactured in a very safe space, which is, coherent for food and beverage. So,
Okay. Got it. And last question for today. So if you would recommend somebody to go into the flavoring product space, what are your three favorite products that you would recommend to go, and three products that you do not recommend to go to launch on e-commerce with e-commerce,
so what three products I recommend to go after?
and three
Um,
products you do not recommend after to go after?
That's tough because if I say three that you shouldn't go after, there's still might be opportunity for it. There's a lot of opportunity, and I don't think a lot of people are doing this with the supplement game, where I think they're starting to do like gummies and stuff like that. But there's other ways to have that application in food and beverage, right? So like incorporating maybe nutraceuticals in it's going to sound weird, but it might be something because you really need to like have a healthy diet in this world, right? And so like if you could incorporate nutraceuticals even in like cakes and like in syrups or things like that, you could start to see some sort of shift because we all have our everyday rituals where we're adding syrups to our coffees or we're adding syrups to our cocktails and things like that, and incorporating nutraceuticals with that in a sugar-free form, I think would be something that people aren't really doing. And products I would stay away from, it's hard to say, but ice cream is tough just because of the machinery you would need to get started. but ice cream is always a
You can't
fun
sell
a
ice
fun
cream on
product.
Amazon unless it's like ice cream on Amazon. I mean, unless it's a blend that you can do it in a house, so
Yeah,
it
I
will
don't
be
know if you
house
could do it
made.
through. I thought maybe you could do it through grocery. I thought about ice cream myself because I'm a big ice cream person. But
Well, yeah, you have to apply for Amazon Fresh to make sure you can sell it. Then that means you will be on a shelf of the retail store, and when it's Amazon Fresh, they're generally speaking picking up from like Amazon Fresh store or like Whole Foods store, and then they're delivering to your house. So it's not like it will be on Amazon FBA or it will be stored in your house because you have to make sure you have a very low distance to your consumer. Otherwise, the shipment will be just ridiculous. And I believe FedEx and I think FedEx is the only one who is shipping actually frozen stuff in the United States. I might be wrong, maybe
yeah,
something else.
my friend has a restaurant here in LA, and I'm helping him do e-commerce right now. And so he has sauces and meats and things like that that he also sells B2B. And Uber Eats is doing this like launch where they're having restaurants like give their best meals, but like for like a value of like $100 to $150 with shipping included, to be shipped overnight to people. So it's like something that's new that's starting
Yeah, those
outside of
things
Amazon. But
exist.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, those things exist as HelloFresh and like lots and lots and lots other frozen things, and like dog food is also traveling this way. But at the same time, I'm not sure that ice cream will survive. But anyway, ice cream is number one. What is the number two and number three?
Okay, so number two would definitely be some sort of energy drink. I think that market is growing, and it doesn't have to be just energy. It could be like an electrolyte drink. Uh,
So is it the product that you should or should not go after? Should go after. Okay. So should go after is cakes, syrups, and energy drinks. Should not go after is ice creams, and what else? And two more.
let's see. Okay, meats are really difficult, and powders. So like seasoning powders. I think that market is kind of oversaturated with a lot of sellers. So like
Okay.
your barbecue seasoning, your paprika seasoning. There's a few brands out there, but they're pretty much dominating right now.
So powder. So you're doing flavoring for seasonings too?
No, no, no. I'm just saying that would be a difficult one to go after. Just because
Okay.
we have the capability of doing seasoning,
Yeah.
and I was looking at it on Amazon, and I was like, I don't know, because there just seems to be a lot of brands already established in that pocket.
Yeah, like one of the products that it's been, I think, 2018, 2017, when lots of sellers launched the stands with the seasoning that you can like use in the house. Like, yeah, and those settings they've been like killing the sales on the market, but right now there are so many of them. So I totally agree, it's not the great product to go after right now. Well, thank you so much for sharing all the information. How our listeners can actually reach out to you and ask you for some testers and communicate with you about book products and like just have a conversation about the placing the order.
Yeah, so we have samples upon request about 1 ounces. And you can find us at dolcefoglia.com. And we have another brand we're coming out with called Flavor Frenzy that should be launching Valentine's Day, which is going to be just more of a retail front looking brand. And so you can reach us out both there. You can reach me at joshua at dolcefoglia.com. And yeah, I'm happy to help with anybody's products and just talk to you first before we talk about anything with payment so that you guys are know what you're getting into and you're happy moving forward.
Well, wonderful. And again, thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. Amazon Made Simple podcast. Isabel Ritz and Joshua Cobos, guys. Thank you and talk to you soon.